Hello, friends. Welcome to Feel Good Friday live with Pamela. Passionate about scrapbooking with Pamela here in the Texas Hill Country. I'm your Stampin' Up demonstrator in Fredericksburg, Texas, to be exact. Thanks for being here and joining me today. I'm excited to play with more of the Friends of the Ocean. I'm so surprised that I have had so much fun with this. It must be the darling dyes and just the bright, fun colors that have made me super happy this week. So if you're joining me, please say hello and let me know. I'm going to pull up my comments. Excuse me. And I'm going to share some things that I've done this week with this collection already, and then we're going to make some cute, fun folds. So these might work well if you're needing to make a card today for someone special for Valentine's Day. You could use the card designs and use paper you have on hand, some reds and pinks and purples, whatever colors you associate with Valentine's Day. Good morning, Charisse. I'm so glad you've joined me this week. I know I was busy this week, but it was fun. I was wiped out after yesterday, though. It was a long day. All right, so we have the awesome Ocean Friends stamps and dies here that we're going to be using today. I already have my lobster on a block over here, and I have most everything pre-cut. We will do a little bit of stamping and die cutting, and I did use the Soft Waves 3D embossing folder, but I've already got my piece done, so we don't have to do that. I do have a few dies here. I am going to show you how I created my tags for my special InstaHot project yesterday. And then I don't think I'm not sure why I pulled these out, other than we are going to use them on one of the cards, but I already have that pre-cut, I think. So I'm going to set those aside. Well, let me keep the perennial postage dies handy over here. So we'll move some stuff around. I am going to stamp the lobster and show you how to color him in a little bit with some blends. We don't need that. And then these are our card kits. And then, of course, we have some of these fabulous Sunny Day iridescent dots that we're going to use, and a little bit of the Summer Splash. What is it called? Bordered ribbon. So I've already got that pre-cut too, I think. Can you hear me okay, Charisse? I think on Wednesday I was a little staticky, but I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to move this aside for a moment and we're going to do a quick recap of what I've done this week. So on Monday, I did the 12 by 12 two-page layout right here. I showed how to use your basic gray classic stamping pad to ink up the edges. So if you want to know how to do that and see how I put this page together, you can easily go back to my YouTube channel. If you're already on YouTube, great. Check out my lives from the past week and you can watch this come together. I even added a flip flap in there. This one had very little stamping on it. I die cut all these lobster and crabs, and then of course these were out of the DSP paper, and then these were just out of cardstock, the coral, the seaweed, and the starfish, and then of course the title here. And I just added a few little bubbles here and there for stamping. So that was a fun one. And then on I'll move this out of the way so you can see this a little bit better. This was my project for Wednesday Story and Sketch. I used some of the same techniques, but we actually stamped these. And then after the live, I went back in and colored a little bit with some stamping blends because it kind of made them look like the ones that were in the designer series paper. Not exactly, but close. So we're going to do just that on the lobster today. And I loved how my title came together and just everything about this page. I really love it, especially the memories and the pictures. All right. And then yesterday, the artisan design team did an Insta hop. So if you go to my Instagram channel at Passionate About Scrapbooking, you can find this project in my feed. And then there are links to all the other artists on the team that participated, and there's 19 of us. There's actually 20 now, so I'm going to add Andrea to it. She wasn't sure if she was going to be able to get her project done, so she was a little late, which is perfectly fine. She's had a lot going on in her life lately, so I would love it if you just say a little prayer for her. And later I will link in hers. Check out my stories and I'll share her project in my stories. But this is the project that I created. I did a Thursday treat where I created the tags. So you can find those posts and a reel on that. And then I did a YouTube video, just a real quick short one, like less than 9 minutes, of how I put it all together. And then you can see close ups and photos of my project. And again, there are links to do the hop. So check out all the other artisans' projects. They are amazing. Absolutely amazing. That was so much fun to do that yesterday. All right, so let's get busy. And let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do first. I didn't make that rhyme. Okay, so let's do this one. I have a sample already made of the other one, but we'll do this one first because I didn't have enough of the it's not shy shamrock. This is the summer splash. I didn't have enough of the cardstock to do two samples, so I just visualized it in my head what I was going to do because I didn't want to cut into a big 12 by 12. I wanted to save that for scrapbooking, hopefully. So I need to get some more of the summer splash because I'm really loving this color. I'm loving all these colors, that this color combination, I guess. These are the colors that we used throughout the week. So I focus mainly on Summer Splash, I think Calypso Coral, Berry Burst with a little bit of all of these colors, I think is where I ended up at for most of my projects. All right, so this one's a little different. It's not, it is a fun fold, but it's got a little hidden treat in it. So that's what's kind of fun about it. But I think let me look at my pieces real quick because we'll prep everything first. I think this is just to fold, and then this one, I'm gonna do a little tag here. So I've got to die cut this piece, stamp on this piece, stamp on this piece. This is gonna go over here, and then die cut here. So let's bring out the die cut. Well, let's do our stamping first, and then we'll do all our die cutting. So I've got the big lobster. This is the only block I have that it would fit on. And I don't even think I stamped with this one yet. So I'm going to season it just with the palm of my hand. And it just kind of helps get some of that um, residue off the brand new stamps. And then I kind of have to decide what color. So I've got my tag. It needs to be contrasting, so I think we might need to do, let me look at the different color of lobsters that we have. We could do like the Calypso Coral, I think. Let me look at this color combination. So on this one, I think I did Calypso Coral with pink petal. And then this one was, I guess that was Bubble Bath and the Berry Burst. But I want something a little contrasting here. So I think we're going to go with this color right here. So we'll do Calypso Coral, and I do have some extra shades that I did that two-step stamping with. So we'll do the Petal Pink, and we'll start off with the Petal Pink. And with a big block like this, it's almost easier just to stamp this way or ink it up like that. And then see all that extra. I need to get me a cleaner um, towel here. I'm going to wipe up that excess a little bit. And then we're just going to stamp it right on here. Let me move out some of this other stuff. I'll put it up a little bit higher because then I can use the bottom portion for something else. And this is where I think I got a cat hair in there. I tried to make sure that wasn't a possibility today, but I can see one right there. It didn't mess it up too bad. It's fine. Okay, so I love the glass mat for doing my stamping. I don't always have it on my table, but it is my favorite surface to stamp on. All right, I think I'm just going to pull this off for now. I'll clean it. Well, I can go ahead and clean it, I suppose. We'll do that so you can kind of, there we go. Get that out of the way. Then just be careful when you're peeling these off, especially when they're a larger size stamp here. Be gentle. Good morning, Crystal. Thank you for joining me here. If you're watching, I would love to know you're here. Say hello, maybe where you're viewing from. All right, and then here's the outline stamp. So now I'll pull that one up. We will get to use the sentiments. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay it right on here. And now we will do this one. Again, it'd be a good idea just to rub your hand. Some people use like erasers, or they stamp and stamp off on some scratch paper. I like to do it that way, just with the palm of my hand because it's fast. All right, and then the same thing. I can just kind of ink it up like that. I never did close up my petal pink. Let me do that too. And then I haven't stamped this one yet. So I'm gonna get up over top of it. I'm gonna have to bring it down a little bit so I can see. I really don't like this big block because it's hard to handle. I'm trying to give you an idea. Probably the tail is the best place to position it. The crab was really easy. All right, so let's do it right there, I think. We'll see once I get it. And this one, it might have been easier to do the solid image second. The crab, I'm already forgetting now. Oh, that was pretty much perfect. Good deal. All right, let me just set that aside and clean that later. Now, I can go in with, I've got Calypso Coral and Pumpkin Pie, I believe. Yep. I was kind of looking to see how I did it. So let's go with Calypso Coral. This will soften up a little bit as it dries, but you can just kind of go where, see all these little dots are? Go over those a little bit just to shade a little bit more, maybe. I'm looking at the one of the samples, and I'm just adding a few little extra stripes here and there. And then the pumpkin pie is what will kind of, it doesn't show up a lot, but you can see it a little bit. You can go over top and overlap a little bit. I don't know if there's maybe right in here a little bit. Fill in that white area. And maybe I'll do a little bit right there. All right, so just a little bit of shading here and there. It just adds a little bit of visual interest. So see again how I did the crabs here. They were a little bit easier to do. I like the pink and the orange that came in there. So you could put maybe a little pink. Maybe I would do like the petal pink. I'm gonna grab, see if I have marker in petal pink. I don't think I have the markers in petal pink. All right, so we're just gonna leave it at that. Keep it kind of plain. But if you wanted to bring in just a little bit of that berry burst, you could possibly do that. I'm afraid to do it that it might be too bright. Let me look at my other berry burst. I don't know what color I have. I have the light. Let's add just a little smidge. Just kind of like, yeah, it's not even, it's not bad. It's not that noticeable. But it'll bring in just a little bit. I might even do a little bit right in here. I'm just kind of going over or around. I'm not trying to cover up that. Whoops. So I used three colors in there actually. Oh, it looks pretty on camera. I think it looks pretty good. All right, so we'll cut that one out. We'll cut this out. We need our Hello Friend on this one. I haven't used that yet. So I'm gonna trying to think where I want to put it on my, I think I'll do it this way. I was thinking of dovetailing the end right there. And let me look and visualize what I was going to do. So I think I'll do this in Berry Burst. Well, this is more like the Melon Mambo. Let's go that route because I haven't used my Melon Mambo. Yeah, this week. And then same thing, I'm going to just rub that on a little bit. Hello, Jolene and Diane. Christine, thank y'all for saying hello. Happy, oh, Diane at the Happy Scrapbooker and Card Maker from snowy West Virginia. That's, um, I think I've seen a few pictures out at the White House about all the snow. And from Montana. We got people from all over the place today. Thanks for joining me today. All right. Let's position that kind of over to the left. Perfect. That'll be fun and cheery. That's a good color. And then while we're here, I think I will just do a little dovetail right there. Go down the middle and then from the corner to where I cut into. And this will just add a little visual interest to our card. All right, I'm gonna push that aside. I need all of this for my cut and emboss. So let's bring that in so we can see it pretty good. We'll just be doing cutting because I did already do the embossing that I mentioned. Cleaning up my mess over here. Let's do, okay, I do need another little scrap. I think I'm going to do some of the summer splash. So let me grab a little scrap maybe of that. I did organize my papers here earlier. Got a piece of that. So there's a couple of things. I think I'm going to do this instead of white. Okay, so I don't need that white scrap. I need my perennial postage dies. These dies are so fun. They coordinate or come with a stamp set too. I did not get the stamp set. I just grabbed the dies. And you've got this cute little tag opening. I haven't actually used that one yet. Trying to decide. I really want to show how to use this. I love this little die. Now you could easily do this like with a hole punch, and of course you still need the little, this one right here. I don't know if there's any type of punch that does that. May have in the past. So I'm going to put that there. Let's see if we can do a couple of things at one time. Hello, stamp set. Where did the stamp set go? Oh, over here. Okay. I also want to create a little bit of sand with that. And I'll need this die right here. So we might can get all this in here. So I'm just pushing this. I'm going to position that right there so it'll cut just that circle. I think I will have to bring my tag through here one more time. And then this piece, I'm going to put it right on the edge of that crumb cake is this one. So just hold it in place. And then we can add this. So let's line it up. So this die cuts the stamped image plus the designer series paper. All right, so I think we're good there. Let me find my other plate. Get it all laid down in there. And then we'll just have to cut a hole in our tag. It's all set. So there's that little piece right there for our tag. And that just adds a little, the tag reinforcer, I guess is what we call it. And then this one, there's our, oops, there's our sand. And there's our lobster. I couldn't remember what it was called. All right, so those pieces I can set aside. I'll just set them right there. And then let me show you. So if you have a hole punch, you can totally just use a hole punch. But this piece does have the little hole right there, so you can punch the hole out of here. I will lay it in there and tape this down kind of where I want it. And I didn't show y'all, I will real quick. I won't show you how exactly how I did it, but how I made this tag too. So if you didn't see my Thursday treat, You can watch the reel on Instagram to see how I did that. I'll see if I can show you real quick. I think I can. All right, so there's your little hole. So I think we got all those pieces done. I'm going to move this out of the way, and then I'll share with you how I did that tag. You could totally just cut a rectangle and then snip, snip with your scissors. But if you want it to be like super accurate, you can grab the meant to be dies. Check out those hexagons. I used actually, I think I used this one for it. So the second smallest one. And so I had my piece already cut at 2¼ by 4¼ I believe. Let me turn it this way. Yeah, maybe 4½, because I cut a little bit off. But if you'll put it in you'll line the edge up over here with your cardstock and center it. And then when you put your plates in, your top plate, only lay your top plate like right here. Don't lay it over the whole entire thing or it'll cut it into a hexagon. Lay your top plate about halfway and then it won't cut this bottom part. And then you'll have a tag, a perfect tag up here at the top. So there's a little tip, extra bonus tip, using an extra set. So you gotta have those. Those are so fun for so many things. All right, I think we have everything together. We can just bring this together now. All right, so we need to score this piece. And I've got to find my measurement. Where this piece right here is a 5x7 piece of the Summer Splash, and we're going to score it at 3¾ inches. So 3¾ It's not right down the center, but when you fold it, you end up with a piece like this. Okay. And this won't be a standard card that opens. Now you can make it that way if you want. You would just take this piece and do a standard card. So it'd be 5½ by 8½ scored at 4¼ but this is just a 5½ by 4½ inch piece. And let's build up. We're going to make a little pocket here. So we need some, I'm wondering if my hair is in my microphone. Excuse me. So we need some tearing tape. This will work best. Good morning and happy Valentine's Day to you too, Debbie. So we're going to put this right here, like right up to the edge. Okay. It's called tearing tape because you could just tear it off, but I got it so close. I think if I tear it, so I'm just going to cut it off right there and on this side. So get right up to the edge. And again, I'm just going to cut it off right there. But it tears really easily too. Make sure that's on there good. And then we will, my scissors aren't being cooperative. So let's try this. There we go. And now we can seal this shut like that. And then we can position this right here. This is where I'm going to bring in my liquid glue since this is pretty heavy. Heavier cardstock. Before I put that down, I think I wanted to wrap ribbon around it. I'll wrap ribbon around the next layer since I already did this. So we're just going to center this on to that piece, that card front, I guess is what you would call it. Okay. Then you have a little pocket here. Now let's do some ribbon around this. I want to, think I'm gonna bring it down. Actually, I'll do it centered. It's gonna go. I just want to make sure I have enough. We'll do about halfway to tie either a little ribbon or a knot over there. So this is where I could do some more tear and tape, which I think I'll just do that. I'm guesstimating the length. I think it's easier to do it this way. Just put it right down the center. Since this card, the DSP is a little flimsy. All right, so I'm gonna position it about right there. And now this piece, I think I might pop this up. And the reason for that is just because of that ribbon right there. And it'll just look a little bit better. We can go like maybe one right there. Do a little zigzag here, leaving space for that ribbon. So did anybody make any Valentines? I think Debbie said she was doing that yesterday, Valentine cards. I've got to dig mine out because I made some a few weeks back, I guess, with the marbled elegance. So I'm gonna cook us some steak and potatoes, sweet potatoes tonight with green beans, I think. There's no way we're gonna go down into Fredericksburg trying to eat dinner somewhere, and it'll be a lot cheaper. All right, so you could do something fun. Maybe if you wanted to, you could ink up the edges of this. I didn't do that. So I'm just going to position it on here. See, so I'm trying to see if I can get it straight. Okay, pretty straight. Now I can take this and tie. Let's see if I have enough. I should have enough for a bow. Now here's a little trick. I've done it in a couple of reels. I don't know if I've done it for y'all before, but you can take your tweezers if they're self-closing and let it hold that for you, or you could tie a knot before you try to tie your bow. But that gives you kind of like a third hand, and sometimes we need that. I think I don't really want my thingies, my tails to be that way, so maybe I need to do it this way. There we go. So my tails are going inward for the card. Okay, and then you can just pop that right out. And then I'll clean up just this one, I guess. There. All right, now we have, so I'm wondering if I can, yeah, I can't really move that up or down. Trying to see how my tag's going to fit on here now. I was thinking I wanted it this way. I might have to redo this and do it like right on the edge. So let me do that a little bit closer to the edge. And I'll just do it like I normally would. I just kind of hold it down with my thumb if I can. Let me see if I got that any further over. I don't know. Oh, and what I can do, I can cut off a little bit of the edge over here. So that's what we'll do. I kind of wanted, it could just put it, it would have been, I could have, I'm trying to think now. I have some other options I could do, but I think I will just, because I debated whether to put a bow out of here. I wanted to do the ribbon around it. All right, so I'm going to cut off probably, I'm going to start with 1/2 inch off that end. And let's see how it, yeah, that's better. Okay, I'll just do it kind of like that. And then this piece, I need to do the same thing, I think. I'm going to cut off 1/2 inch of that. It's going to layer just right onto there. And I'll have to cut off a little bit of that too. Okay, I'm looking. Let's do our, let me move some things around, grab my other adhesive, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of that reinforcer, position that right there. Now here we're just layering, and I've got to have a piece for the inside. I just remembered that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. I'm just going to put glue right down here. And then I'll trim off the excess since I cut it down. Of course, it's got to be messy. You see my little, try not to get it on my fingers. Now we can trim off this side. Okay, I'm going to do this right flat to that piece. I'm going to be careful with two. I am going to get it on my fingers anyways. Doesn't matter what I do with this glue. Just a second. Let me wipe it off somewhere. I'm okay with wiping it off right there. All right, so building up a little scene. I still got it on this finger, y'all. Oh, goodness. Going on my pants. All right, so we're just going to build up a little scene here, something kind of fun. And I thought I would add him there somewhere and then put this over top. I think that's going to work. Okay, I'm going to do glue dots, not glue dots, but Stampin' Dimensionals on here. And then once I get this front done, we'll add our little, okay, so I'm just going to glue him straight down right there. So maybe just going to put some, I don't need glue all over, just right kind of there in the center. I'm going to tilt him a little bit to add some visual interest. And then we'll put it up a little bit higher. I probably could have put him up a little bit higher, but this will work. And then we can pop this up on here. I can already see something cool I could have done, but it's too late to do it now. Could have run your ribbon through here, through the hole. Yeah, there's lots of cool things I could have done, but I didn't. Since I didn't prepare this one in advance, it's still going to be cute. So 3. So this is going to be a fairly dimensional card. You would have to probably add extra postage for if you're going to mail it. And now I'm just going to position this. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to hold it. We'll just go right up in there like that. I don't know why it wants to see if I can maneuver this one needs to be cut down a little bit. Anyways, I'll pull this out a little bit more. Okay, now we need a piece, which I didn't plan for because we have our little pocket here. So I want to show y'all. Let me get some scraps. I think this one's going to work. So I need I think a 4 1/8. So I could do that. Let's just do, so 1/8, not quarter, by 3 1/2. Excuse me. Hello, friend. You could do thanks so much or love you. I think I'm going to do this thanks so much because of how I created my next card. You'll see, um, and we'll use the Melon Mambo again. But you could do either. You could do love you or thanks so much. I'm just going to put this right in the center here. No idea if that's going to be straight. Pretty good. And then this piece, I'm just going to fold over. You could score it if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm going to go ahead and just use some more tear and tape, I think. And we're just creating a little tab so that you can pull out your insert. You could use a label of some kind, a label die cut if you wanted to. I guess I do have to have one on both sides. Sorry, I didn't think that through because it's going to go on the front and the back. Do it, trim. I thought that was small, short enough, but it wasn't. I've got some. So this can be just a cute little note. You can write a sweet little note on the inside, just hello, so and so. Hey, Debbie, thanks so much. Love, Pamela. Something like that. All right, and then let me see. So it's going to just go down inside here. I'm going to, you could cut this off a little bit shorter, maybe. I think I'm going to just leave like that much. So it could be a little bit shorter, but it's just going to, is it going to slide right in there? Let's see. We'll have to kind of finagle it in there. Well, I may have to cut a little bit more off. I'm looking to see if I'm getting inside my, oh, I see what I did, y'all. Okay, what do you call them? I have one foam dot that got in the way. All right, so then that's just perfect right there. I'm gonna have to fix that foam dot here in a little bit. But that way you have a little tab. You can pull out your little, what do you call it? You could put a gift card in here if you wanted to. I could here use some of those temporary glue dots I have to stick a gift card in there and sneak it down in there like that. Okay, and there's your card. And if you wanted to make this a standard card, you could if you needed more room for a message. Just not sure if they would figure out that there's something in there for them. Hopefully they would. So you could even write your message on here and let them know. Be sure to pull the tab. All right. I like how that turned out. Oh, you know what? I didn't even do any. We've got to have some bling. So let's do that real quick. Let's do like a big, oops, we'll do a big, maybe. Get it on here one way or another. I'm gonna do it right there. Then I'll do some pumpkin pie and a little, I think this is considered melon mambo. Well, it's just going to stick to my finger. Perfect. All right. So there is card number one. The keeping tabs punch might work for that. I'll have to check that out. All right, that'll work. That card was inspired by my Stampin' Up upline Rhonda Wade. All right, so card number two. This one's got pretty much almost everything ready, so it'll go together pretty quickly. Now, this is a true fun fold, a pretty simple one, similar to probably something I've done in the past, but got the pretty colors. Okay, so this one, and you know what? I actually didn't follow particular instructions. I just did this one on my own, but I'm sure other people have done the same thing. So I decided to use a 12-inch piece by 4¼ inch piece of the Berry Burst, and we're going to place it into our trimmer, and we're going to score at 5½. And then this piece ends up being 6½ inches, I believe. So I scored it. I turned it around this way. It was just easier for me to flip it around and score it at 3¼ So half of that, this right here, 6½. All right, and then we'll flip it back that way. So there are scores. So it would be, if you were scoring all at the same time, I'll just show you. You would score at 5½, and at 8¾ So that's another way that you could do it. And so this is just kind of like a V fold. We'll fold it this way first. Oops. Our scoring tool, and then fold it back and score or burnish it. So kind of got that Z fold. All right, this piece right here is going to go on the back portion here. So you can see I used all the same paper, just the front and back of it. So we'll put this one down in here. And that was 4 by 5¼ Then we have this piece. It's going to go on the front flap right here. So we'll do that. Oops. You could choose to put a piece here. You might could put a white piece. So that would be like part of your sentiment area, or another designer series paper there if you wanted to, but I just left it. I just wanted the break right here, so I just left it blank. Now let's build up the front and inside of the card. I think these two pieces are the same, two basic whites at 3 by 4. So then this piece is a 3¼ by 4¼ I need one of these, and we're going to do a little stamping. Let me move some things around here. Let me bring in I need my Summer Splash. And I think that's it. I think that's the only color I used on this. I used it quite a bit though. So first I did the edges of one of the white pieces. You see, I did both of the white pieces. So let's do, like, try not to get, I'm just going to tap the edge of my cardstock kind of at a slight angle so I can get some color on the edge just to add a little interest. Okay, there's that piece. We'll do both of these. One's for the outside, one's for the inside. Okay. Oh, also do this little piece. This is part of our sentiment right here. It's like a 3/8 of an inch by 1/4. So just tap that in there too. So I have all those pieces, making sure I don't have ink. I still need this summer splash. So I'm going to just leave it right there. And then we need this little piece, and I'm going to do the 3 little bubbles here. So we're going to start with this one. I haven't been cleaning up my stamps. I'm going to get a scrap of paper here. So we're going to create a little scene, a background scene. So you can do, I'm going to let it go off the cardstock just a little bit there. Ink it up, stamp off, and then do one in the stamp off. We call it, close to my heart, we called it second generation. First generation, second generation. And I can do this again over here. And since I didn't really go off the page too much, I'll go down a little bit lower like that. Okay, there's a little background scene. And then we need a couple of bubbles. So we'll randomly stamp the bubbles. Whoops, kind of double stamped there. I don't think you'll be able to notice too much. I did that one too, y'all. I guess that's what kind of bubbles look like, so I guess it's okay. I've got my glasses on today, so I'm kind of thinking that might be the problem. I'm not getting good depth. My eyes, we have had the craziest weather. It was in the 80 degrees this past weekend, and then it dropped down into the 40s this week. And then it's going back up into the 70s tomorrow, I think, and then it's dropping again. So allergies are off the track or roof or whatever you want to terminology you want, charts. That's the word. Or off the charts. All right, let's take a sip of my coffee. Still nice and warm. All right. So I think that's it. Oh, we need to do our sentiment. So let me do a little bit of cleaning here real quick. And we're going to use just the portion of the thanks so much. We're just going to stamp so much. Let me put these away. So I think I'm a little OCD when it comes to putting my stamps back on. See, like that. I'm like, how did I do that? But that might have shifted in the background. So I like to like straighten them up. Like that's not even good enough for me, y'all. Just sometimes I have to tell myself, just don't worry about it, Pamela. Okay, so I need to clean this stamp because I didn't clean it yet, I don't think. And I'm going to show you how to do a little masking. Has anyone ever cut their stamps apart? I have. I don't prefer to do that if I don't have to, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. All right, so I want to do just the so much onto this. It's not that. How did I do that? That's not even the right size, y'all. I'm a little short. Let me look. So I guess I'll save that for something else. Let me cut a little piece off. Probably just guesstimated or something. What did I say? It was 3/8 of an inch. Sorry, I don't have this all the way on here so y'all could see. And it was, this is the easiest way. You can take your stamp and look. It needs to be, I'm going to do 1 3/4. Then we'll trim off some if we need to. Let me look and see. That's a little longer. All right, so if you have some Post-it notes or the Post-it tape, all you have to do is cover that thanks up. It does get a little messy, but you could also just try to stamp it up here so that you're not getting any ink on the thanks, but I was going to show how to mask. Then take that off before you stamp. I'm going to move it over this way. I think I got it good. Okay, now, since we're fixing this up, we're going to cut off a tiny bit. So it ends up being about 1 5/8. Okay, and now we can do it into our ink pad, get that look again. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've got all these pieces. I'll just save this for another day. Maybe love would fit on it. I don't know if the love you would. See this piece right here? Just throw that away or you're going to make a mess. All right, that should be all our, don't think it's all our stamping. Yeah, it is all our stamping because I didn't put a sentiment on the inside. That's for the inside. We can take this piece right here and adhere it to the inside. Ooh, and do it just right along the edge here, just to add a little something extra. Finish off the inside. This piece can go ahead and go down to the berry burst. Get that going. Either doesn't come out or it comes out way too much. So this was a 3x4 piece, the white, and then the berry burst was 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And let's just build this up before we adhere everything to the card. So I've got all these pieces. This was die cut out of the designer series paper. And then you've got all your coral, your seaweed, I guess. Then we've got some little starfish. I did all these kind of color combinations all week long. So these were some pieces I had left over. And then I had leftover alphabet letters from creating my titles for the week. So I decided to pull out the letters to create the thanks part of the sentiment. So here's another little fun way to change up your sentiments and incorporate some of those alphabet stamps. All right, so let's start with this. I'm just going to put a little bit, if I can get it going, right down here, not very far up because I want to be able to tuck some things in here and there. And it can just kind of go centered right down. Oops. Nope, never mind. I was thinking about the other card. You could put some more sand or some of that summer splash cardstock with the wave right there if you wanted to. I didn't do that for this one. And then let's incorporate the seaweed. And maybe just tuck it down in there, let it wherever. There's the large one and the small one. If you get too much glue, kind of smear it around with the tip before you squeeze any more out. And then this one can go down like right in there. That'll work. Then we can do our crab. We're gonna pop him up. Remember that glue that I stuck on there? Now it's on the back of my dimensionals. That'll be a problem from here on out, probably. I'll have to put some powder on there, I guess. All right, we could do a couple of little mini dots on here too, dimensionals, just on the claws. And so is anyone still here? Looks like there's a bunch of you. I hadn't asked any questions, I guess. So, all right, and then I'm going to position it about the center, right there. Let his little legs hang off the bottom. Then we can tuck in a few of the starfish just randomly around. Hold it down for a second. And close up, you can see the front from the back. You can tell which side to put it on. Let's kind of tuck it up under here a little bit, just for some visual interest. And same thing there. And now let's do the word thanks. We're just going to glue these right down. See, too much, just kind of run it down on there. I'm going to grab my tweezers, my old close to my heart tweezers. And we're going to position that about right there. And if it overlaps onto the coral, that's fine. Just press it down. It'll hold that down a little bit. And you can use the custom or the Stampin' Up self-closing tweezers if you want. They're just a little bit, the tips a little bit thicker and harder for me to maneuver doing this kind of stuff. So I like these really fine pointed ones. I did find some on Amazon. I still like these the best though, because the Amazon ones are a little bit more curved. All right, so just keep. Does anyone ever use their alphabet to spell out words on their cards? Hello, Julie and Laura. Good morning. Thanks for being here and commenting. All right, and just keep going across with your word. Well, you could put hello, hi, happy B day. Maybe not the whole word birthday, but you could do that. And right here. See, this would be so much faster if I just used my tape runner. Then when you do it like this too, you know it's not going anywhere for sure. This liquid glue is great for keeping things in place. Thanks. Could just do thank you, but I liked, oops, gotta hold it down a little bit longer. Afraid to put my finger on there because it'll stick. See, this one's being difficult. Not sure if there's a top and a bottom to this, but I may have to put some more glue. Just hold it down like that for a minute. Okay. And now you have the so much. We're going to put a few mini dots on it. We're almost done. Now, this one, I didn't put any ribbon on it because I couldn't figure out a good place to put ribbon. So, and it's got a lot going on. It really didn't need any ribbon either. My fingers are so sticky. And then this can just go like right under here. Thanks so much. Okay, and now we can adhere it here. So I'm going to only put adhesive on this one end. Stop short of halfway. And now we can center it onto here. Hold it down for a second. Okay, and you've got this so far, and now we want our insert. So how am I going to know I centered that in the right place? This is what I did. I put glue on the back. I layered it right here. Trying to remember what I did. So centered like that. Maybe turn it this way so you can see if it's in the right place. So it's got a border around there, and then you can just close this like that. Let it sit for a second, and then voila, you have it positioned in there just perfectly. Once you get it down, you can kind of smooth it out. If you want to do a little love you down here, you can. And then let's finish off our card with a few embellishments. I need to work on my little putty thing right there. I think I got it. We're going to do a big melon mambo, I think is what it is. Then maybe a little gem up here. And how about a small orange one? Right, we'll sneak it right down in here, maybe. Maybe it'll hold that down. All right. So there's that. Our two cards for today. So this one had your little surprise insert. Thanks so much. Oh, excuse me. And then, ta-da! Our little fun fold. All right. I love how they turned out. I've had so much fun, y'all, with this collection of products. I really wasn't sure that I wanted to use it this time of year because who does ocean and sea themed stuff in January, February, and February? But I reminded myself that we have demonstrators and customers all over the world, and their seasons are different than our seasons. And you can go to the beach anytime, actually, especially here in Texas, because you could have been at the beach this weekend and it would have felt like summer because it was actually almost 90 degrees. It was in the upper 80s. So Anyways, it brought back some fun memories. I was able to reminisce about with my scrapbooking, especially. Oh, and also, this would be fun to send to some friends who lived either in California or Florida or along the coast of maybe Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arizona, not Arizona, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, right? Uh, I kind of know my states. I should know I'm down in the South. Arizona is not, it does not have beachfront property according to George Strait. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just lay out all the goodness that I did this week. I love what came together with this collection. Highly encourage you to grab this collection and play with it. And we'll just throw those there. All right. I agree, Julie. It's great for any time of year. Where did you say you were from? I have to scroll up to see if you said Ohio. Y'all don't have any beachfront property, do you? Uh, all right. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I hope y'all have a wonderful Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, whatever you're celebrating, or if you're celebrating at all, anything at all. I just sending my love to all of y'all. Thank y'all for being here, being a part of the community. Have a great weekend. Find something fun to do, especially if it's crafting. That's always fun. But if you need to spend some time with a significant other, family, friends, do that. Yeah, no, unfortunately, to the beachfront property. All right, y'all take care. God bless you all. And join me again on Monday for Make It Monday Live with Pamela. I will be playing with the Everyday Arches. Let me show this to y'all just real quick. I'll give you a little sneak peek. So we got Everyday Arches, stamps and dies. What is this paper collection called? Everyday Skies. Ooh, this one's gonna be fun. Something different. I'm not gonna flip through. There's some pretty two-tone sparkle gems and some white ribbon. And we'll see what all fun things you can do with that. And if you're curious about how I will use 6x6 in or on a 12 by 12 page, come and join me because I have lots of ideas and fun things I've been doing 6x6 with. So I can share some previous or some past posts or projects with y'all using 6x6 as well. So have a great weekend. Bye, y'all.